This is your daily dose of all things royal. Welcome back, my gorgeous, good-looking friends. Can somebody explain to me why Prince Harry is still on payroll for BetterUp? Like, what does this guy actually do? He's supposed to be the chimpo, chief impact officer, whatever that means. In this situation, looking at these executives, Harry is listed as one of their top senior level executives. Why? Like, every time I see this picture, I get so uncomfortable because it's the most creepiest stare. And what's going on with his hair? That doesn't look natural in any way. I'm so surprised that this company is still in business. It's been a while since I looked at these Glassdoor reviews, and holy cow, the place is literally on fire. We're going to go through a couple of these reviews. They are scathing. On the surface, you would be scratching your head saying why would they put Prince Harry as one of the senior executives? But when you hear some of these reviews, Harry fits in just fine. From what I gather reading these reviews, the employees can't stand the CEO and this guy who is the COO, Edward Medina. Even more funny is that these two executives are so thin-skinned that they're constantly looking at this glass door in these reviews to see what people are saying about them. So now last year when I checked this, I do recall that Alexei Robichaud, who's the CEO, I like to call him Robichox, had an all-time low of 2.8 approval rating. So it does look like they have been putting a considerable amount of effort into getting his score up because many people were calling for him to quit or step down. Just as arrogant as Harry and Meghan, Robichox ignored his employees and continues doing the same thing, pissing more and more people off. Instead, it does appear that bots were paid to boost up these scores. And BetterUp is getting called out for it. Let's get into it. April 4th, 2025. 1 star. Titled, "This Place is a Joke." Pros, other than a steady paycheck while it lasts. Cons? It's interesting how recently and out of the blue you're seeing positive reviews here. I have a feeling HR has been hunting down their favorite club to write positive reviews. Don't be fooled. This place is a circus. Leadership team is made up of clowns, and we're losing customers left and right. We oversell and underdeliver, and our coach bench quality has worsened. As an account manager, I'm having to justify why one-on-one coaching sessions are being canceled or why participants aren't utilizing us like years past. We treat our coaches unfairly and compensate them poorly. I don't see a future here, and many of us are already looking, are leaving, or are about to put our 2-week notice. Advice to management: stop being a cult and learn how to stop being yes men. Sit back, these are going to get progressively worse. Next one, dated May 19th, 2025, 2 stars, titled "Well-Intentioned, Hardworking, and Brilliant DRs, Incompetent and Spineless Management." As for the pros, genuinely lovely coworkers. This place manages to attract some of the most delightful humans I've met in my adult life. Good benefits, and remote work has definite benefits. Now the cons. Extremely toxic work environment in which management constantly gaslights, flip-flops, and bows to executive leadership. No chance for advancement if you have a moral compass or ethical standards. Truly a failing upwards leadership structure. Absolutely no regards for diversity or equity. CEO proudly touts his colorblind approach to leadership, and concerns falls on deaf ears. I don't know, folks. Maybe they should just rebrand BetterUp to just name it Harry and Meghan. Seriously, these people are all cut from the same cloth. Next, dated March 28, 2025. 2 stars. Great people, strong pay, but poor leadership and uncertain future. The pros? Competitive salaries and above-average compensation packages. Talented, intelligent, and driven individuals at the individual contributor level. A mission-driven focus that attracts purpose-driven employees who genuinely care about coaching and development. The product itself is genuinely impactful, and the one-on-one coaching services offered by BetterUp have helped so many people around the world. It's something I truly believe in. Now for the cons. Leadership is all over the place, constantly shifting directions with no real roadmap. For a company that's been around for over 12 years, it's frustrating to see them still calling themselves a startup and acting like one. Teams are stretched thin and expected to pick up the slack, while certain roles are created without much thought on what they should actually do. I guess maybe they're talking about the chimpo. Despite promoting a coaching culture, it feels like we're more of a marketing and event company spending huge amounts of money on things like Davos instead of focusing on internal growth. I'm pretty sure Harry's getting a nice sizable salary for doing absolutely nothing. Why not eliminate some of that waste? Now, do we think this has something to do with his visa? It's possible. The CEO genuinely believes people are lining up to go on a 2-week spiritual hike with him in Spain, like we're all teenagers without families or other responsibilities. It's cringeworthy, and most of us just roll our eyes. So many VPs, vice presidents, and other fancy leadership roles all over the place. New managers are brought in but rarely take the time to connect with their teams or learn. One-on-ones are few and far between. There's a growing sense of skepticism about the company's direction, and burnout is becoming the norm. The recent shift from remote first to pushing people back to the office is unsettling, especially for those who live far away. It feels like remote employees will eventually be indirectly pushed out. Inclusiveness is a growing concern, with some employees being unfairly judged because of their location or working arrangements. Employees who take their rightful parent leave or have part-time contracts are made to feel like they're not committed enough, which is incredibly disappointing for a company that preaches personal growth and balance. Now, their advice to management is actually comical. It says here, the amount of positive reviews posted on the same day lately is a clear sign leadership is buying bots or something to offset the recent real bad reviews. Instead of spending time on your external image, fix the real problems. The whole C-level is a joke. There is no respect for them, with the exception of the new CFO. Let's see how long he lasts. Set a clear direction and stick to it. These constant pivots are exhausting. Now, this next one is The Chef's Kiss. Dated May 14, 2025. 1 star. Don't fall for the mission. It's not worth the pain. Pros. You will likely meet some really smart and nice people who join the company believing in its mission. Although the high performers don't tend to stick around as soon as they've figured out what's going on. There is a reason their turnover is so high. The mission is compelling, and it makes you feel good to work on something that makes people's lives a little better. The cons? Where should I begin? BetterUp is the most chaotic and culty place that I've worked at. Toxic culture from the top. The leadership has completely lost touch for years. The CEO, Alexei, is a bully and only surrounds himself with yes people. He leads by fear and openly berates or mocks employees. Anyone who disagreed with him got shown the door. Yet, he blames everyone else for the problems. You are either part of the Alexei crew or you're not. Are we sure that Megan is not the one who's really running this company as CEO? I mean, seriously. Now, this is concerning. It's not a tech company, period. As much as they want you to believe they are, they aren't. They sell a tech-enabled service at its most basic form and failed to innovate for years, despite sitting on a wealth of consumer data. Well, what are they doing with that data? Considering that they have contracts with our government, NASA, Air Force. Inquiring minds would like to know, what are they doing with our military's data? With all the flashy C-suite titles, VPs, Prince Harry, celebrities, and expensive events, you can piece together that this company is only good for marketing and branding and care more about its brand than building a business that delivers value. You're likely vastly underpaid because they won't tell you how much your stock options are truly worth. The product roadmap is a joke. Your job is to translate Alexi's ideas into a believable roadmap and sell it to customers before you build a functioning product. That, or work on any Alexi's pet project, and it changes every 3 months. P.S. Good luck figuring out how much your stock options are worth if you join the company or what the financial outlooks are. Advice to management? Board. Get rid of the leadership. Okay, I'm going to do just one more, and this one pretty much takes the cake. It's from an actual senior executive that quit, so I'm not sure who the C-level was, but they really ripped them a new one. Take a listen. Dated April 2nd, 2025, 1 star. Better not. The pros? Like so many reviews have stated, there are some fantastic people that work at BetterUp. Passionate, authentic, and driven by the mission. I would gladly work with many of them again. Now for the cons. My working experience has not just been far from positive. It was the worst of my career, and it's not even comparable. The founders, CEO and COO at BetterUp, are a major issue. They lack the experience, humility, and curiosity to leverage their teams, provide a structured vision and strategy, or take any feedback at all. You can certainly not challenge them professionally. It will not be tolerated. This has created a toxic work environment where open communication and trust are sorely lacking. The lack of psychological safety is particularly concerning as employees often feel unable to voice their thoughts or concerns without fear of retribution. To give you an idea about the toxic work environment I reference, consider these 2 examples. First, I was encouraged by management to do a favor review on Glassdoor to help boost the CEO's and the company's rating. I was told it was encouraged. I did not have to, but that I should let my manager know when it was done. Per several of the other reviews on Glassdoor, I would really question the validity of the recent volume of 5.0 reviews that are lacking in structure, thought, and content, a handful of words. I would not be surprised if, again, they were asked for by management. Look at the most recent April 1st review with a 5.0. In advice to management, they said, "People are burned out and afraid to say it." That is a 5.0. It further says, employees with young families don't feel they can take care of them while working here. This is not my review, but a 5.0 review of the company. Really? People, please read between the lines. The second example, which to me is far more alarming, the company purposely and thoughtfully has created an internal rating and performance system that makes it difficult to achieve a successfully meets on your review. In fact, I was asked to use a bell curve to ensure most of my team was not successfully meeting their job function. Yikes! This creates an environment where job security is a constant worry, with frequent layoffs and a lack of transparency regarding employment stability. The company went through 3 rounds of layoffs in just over my year. Let me pause for a second. This sounds so messed up. It's almost like they are trying to get out of, let's say they do have to do a round of layoffs, get out of paying people packages or severance pay to leave. In this situation, if their performance is constantly being marked below meeting the job requirement, then technically the company can lay you off and not be held accountable by the EEOC. I don't know. I just think this sounds awful, truly awful. What a demotivator. Like, why would you want to work in a place where you're busting your tail and it will never be good enough. And then you have this hanging over your head. At any point, they could fire you, given a reason, and that could be the reason. Speaking of retention, the founders cannot keep true executive leaders at the company because they either challenge the status quo or threaten them because they have the gravitas and experience to truly lead and inspire. There has been a revolving door of the C-suite for years. Again, ask yourself, if this company is on the right track, does much of the C-suite leave? Good point. This probably explains why Harry has not been fired yet. When you move beyond culture, you land on the business model itself. The company is providing coaching services, yet has positioned itself as a software-as-a-service company. The CEO even jokes openly on all-hands calls that everyone knows it is sassy. Oh no, not SaaS. Yet, the employees are held accountable to a SaaS business model. So to help you understand, the SaaS business model is about delivering software through subscription. So think like Salesforce or Netflix. You buy like licenses and you have a subscription and you pay every month. While the SaaS business model is about the sales and scaling strategies used to grow those SaaS companies. Make sense? He continues, these things are incongruent. This manifests itself in the work-life balance and results. The work-life balance at BetterUp is extremely poor. The demands of the job are excessive, leading to high levels of stress and burnout. This is not because it is a startup. It is 12 years old. It is because the business model is broken and the leadership is lost. Employees often feel overworked and undervalued, which significantly impacts their overall well-being. This is exacerbated by the crazy amount of readings you're asked to do on your own time after hours, which can take 5 hours a week. Not to mention the applicability of these readings as the founders try to compare BetterUp to some of the greatest tech leaders of our time. Intel, Amazon, ServiceNow, Snowflake. It's outright laughable. I personally was on a mandatory 90-minute reading review session on the last day of the quarter. Oh my God. Advice to management? Stop spending time trolling Glassdoor and actually step away from the company, allowing the board to put seasoned executives in place that will give the employees the fighting chance they deserve. That might actually be a little tough, considering Alexi and Eduardo are both on this board. You think they're going to step away from their C-suite position? I doubt it. The only way that I see any type of change is going to happen is if they have another investor that comes in that gives them a lump sum of money, and they say, well, in order to get this money, you have to get rid of these two people. That's the only way that I see those two going away. And it does look like not that many are investing in this company. It was once evaluated at like 4.7 billion, but so far to this date, I highly doubt it comes anywhere near that. What I see keeping this company afloat are the government contracts. It's why we see BetterUp being so far up Harry's ass because of getting close to these veterans. Veterans not only in the United States, but also other countries. And I do believe that this is where they're headed. BetterUp has been expanding its presence, opening up offices in the UK. I hope people recognize that BetterUp is all a part of this globalist one world shit, where they're trying to control every facet of your life, even down to telling you what your purpose is. And that's what BetterUp is designed to do while they mine all of this data that they can use in various ways to control you. I absolutely cannot stand these parasites. All they do is take. And then you have these poor people busting their tail to actually do something good for people. And here you have these assholes like Harry and Alexei Robichaud berating, bullying, abusing. And they do it because they have power and money and they know that you can be replaced in a heartbeat. So, they don't care about your mental health. They don't care if they run you into the ground. They don't care if you have a work-life balance. All of that is marketing fluff. And for me, I think it's important to shed light on this because I understand what these workers must be going through. In an abusive and toxic work environment, it does take a considerable toll on your mental health to a point where it's damaging. It's why I can't go back to corporate America because of what was done to me. So in a small way, I'm hoping to give a voice to those writing those reviews, knowing that these executives like Prince Harry, like Alexei Robichaud and Eduardo, having such thin skin, put this on blast. Share this with everyone. Let everybody see what bullies and cowards these people are and how they're taking advantage of people, all to line their pockets. But anyway, those are just my thoughts and opinions. But what do you guys think? Definitely leave your thoughts below. As always, I will be back with more content. But until then, please be safe, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Such a fraud.